Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at the contents of Undaunted Battle of Britain. This is a David Thompson, Trevor Benjamin design from Osprey Games. Look at the back, and again it's illustrated by Roland MacDonald, and it's a beautiful looking game. First off, just like every other game in this series, you look at the box. I mean, that's a serious box. Very high quality. You just want to mount this, put it up on the wall. Beautiful art, absolutely gorgeous. Contents. Okay, so this says it's a deck building skirmish historical game. Contents: 116 cards, 31 large map tiles, 4 dice, 58 tokens, scenario booklet. I guess technically there's also a rules booklet in here. We're not going to knock points off for that. So this is in the Undaunted series, but as you know, every game in the series is got something slightly unique or different about it. So every single one of them brings something new gameplay-wise to the table, and this is no exception. Now, I've yet to play it. I've looked at the contents. I will be putting some gameplay video of this up on the channel soon. I think this is going to get a lot of playtime. I just love the topic. And again, it looks to be a fairly straightforward game, which most of the Undaunted games are. Okay, so let's dive into this. So let's get this puppy opened. Look at that. Like I said, quality all the way around. Okay, there's our rule book, which was not listed on the back. It's 24 pages. Single column, nice large font, color. Tells you the components, what's on the various cards. Okay, shows you the tokens. Hello there, Missy. I have a helper. Shabby is shown up. Again, pretty straightforward, very clear cut. Shows setup, some of the tiles. We'll get into that here in a little bit. I'll show you what the map looks like. And then how to play starts on page 12. Some important concepts. And then it gets into the actual gameplay. Now, if you've played any of the Undaunted games, it's very similar. There are some, like I said, there are some differences. And when we get into the gameplay video, I'll point those out. Got some air combat, duh. Again, all the rules, nice and clean. Color, and there's Cabby. That's our rule book. I need to put it back in there, sorry. Now you're gonna get 3 counter sheets. So let's take a look at these. First off, nice, thick, good, high quality. Everything in this game is high quality. Most of these things are two-sided. You've got balloons, cloud cover. See, clouds appear to be over water, balloons over land. You flip this over, you got clouds over land, balloons over water. You've got the back of your aircraft, color-coded by their squadrons, basically. And again, those are when they've been used, and these are when they're active. Okay, there's a couple of defensive markers for terrain features that can vary during gameplay. You have 3 of these counter sheets. This is the first one. Here's the second one. You have some ships. Again, more clouds. Anti-aircraft. And again, more of the various aircrafts in the game. And then on the backs of the ships, you've got smaller ship sizes. So these are 8s on their defense, a little bit larger. On the backs, you've got some 6s. Anti-aircraft won't get flipped over. There's no need. And then something unique on these, I will point out, more aircraft, more ships. We've already shown the back of the ships, but you'll notice there are 4 of the aircraft with nothing on the back. So these are dummy markers on some of the scenarios. And basically it's the bombers, the Hinkle and the BF-110. So those are dummy markers. Those are your counters. Again, you're going to get 3 sheets of those, all high quality. Now I get into the scenario book. Let me just go ahead and take this out. We're going to get into the cards here for a second and show those, and then we'll come back to the scenario. But just so you can see how it's packed, you're going to get your 10-sided dice. They give you 4. Good quality. I'm not sure we need the little bag, but hey, it's there. So here's your 2 decks of cards. Let's take a quick look at the British. Now, there's actually more German cards, but that's not really comes into play gameplay-wise. It's because there's just different aircraft. So we'll take a look on the back side, or the front side, depending on how you call it on your cards. And the gray, this one is kind of a universal, and then you have some section comm cards. These are new to this series. And you have them for each of your squadrons. You got your, excuse me, you got your anti-aircraft, your ships for movement, and then you get into your squadrons. Okay? These are your aircraft that are going to be in your deck, right? So this is a Hurricane, this is Squadron Y1, and you will notice that there are 3 cards. This exact same pilot is also an ace. It has a Y with a star, and there are actually 4 cards for the ace, 3 cards for the non-ace. Here's Y2, another Hurricane pilot for this particular squadron, 3 cards. Okay, you got the orange Hurricane, 1s and 2s, there's no aces in there, 3 cards each. Then Defiant, I'm going to get that wrong. Now, this is because it's got different artwork. I believe it's because there are 2 crew members in this particular aircraft. And there's 2 different squadrons. The G1, the G2. Maybe they're not. Anyway, your Spitfire. Nice. 2 of those. And Spitfire Ace. 2, 3, 4 again. And then the normal 3. And then this is your Fog of War card, which is called Discord, excuse me. Speaking of Discord, if you look in the description of the video, and I may flash it here on the screen, although it's useless on the screen, there will be a link to the Hissy Cat Studio Discord, which you can join and join in the chats on the various things that we have on our Discord channel. Nice little segue there, I think. Anyway, those are your British. The Germans are going to be very similar. Kind of more of the same. Again, beautiful art on these cards. Here's your squadron comms. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love that aircraft. Beautiful stuff. And again, you get into your different squadrons. With your aces, they're going to have more cards. And again, beautiful stuff. Now, I will say, when we get down into the Hinkle does have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards for the H1 and 4 cards for the H2. And same with the Stukas. Stukas have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards for each of their squadrons, and then you got your German Discord cards. So there we go, guys. Those are the cards. Now this is where your tiles come into play. And I'm going to just take this out and just show you, and then I'm going to cut to this kind of laid out a little bit and talk about the scenarios. When you take these out, basically you've got some smaller end cap ones. There's 5 of these. Basically they're just land on one side, water on the other. Okay? Same with these, land on one side, water on the other. Now this side will be labeled, the back side doesn't matter because they're all the same. There's no features, terrain features on the water. Okay? All fits in there nicely. and we are going to jump into the scenario book. Now, let me cut. I'm going to lay out some of these tiles, and then we'll dive into the scenario book. Okay, guys, here we are. Hopefully you can see everything fine. Let's start with our scenario book. Now, it has 11 scenarios in it, and when played in sequence, excuse me, Missy, they make up a campaign. But they can be played standalone, individually, in any order that you wish if you're not playing the campaign. Okay, on the back is a chart to keep track of your score for your campaign games. Photocopied that. I'm sure this is probably on BGG. Shame on me, I haven't looked yet. And she gets right in the light. Come on, little girl. Okay. Again, nice beautiful color in here with your typical deck layout. And then your victory conditions. This is for the campaign, by the way. Sorry, let me go back. So you got your campaign play here, and then it gives you your victory conditions on your campaign. This is a sample of your starting deck, and then we get into your scenarios. So what you're going to have is your map layout, and I've kind of followed that, and you'll see these tiles here in a minute. And your objective for the RAF, it's neutralize 2 enemy aircraft. For the Luftwaffe, neutralize 3 enemy aircraft. This is first contact, and you're actually flying over the coast of France. It's kind of interesting. The next one is evacuation of Dunkirk. And you'll notice there are some tiles where there's just a little smidgen of land and mostly water. And you'll notice the RQUTSH for these tiles. All of these are whatever they happen to be, and you'll see in a minute, the backside is not labeled, and they're just all pure water. Here's a scenario that's all water. And then here's the first one over the channel getting into England itself. Another one over the water. Channel fight, they call this one. This is called the Battle of Britain Channel fight. Again, a little more land. And you got some ships and you got some balloons. Eagle Day, more land, less water, which is nice. Another all water, all channel. And then the final one, oh, excuse me, this isn't the final one. This is 9, sorry. This is a night fight, and you got special rules for night bombing. So that's going to be fun. So it's really got a lot of the aspects of the Battle of Britain built into these scenarios. Again, mostly water, a little bit of land. And then here's your final one, which is basically every tile in the game. And this is the Blitz. So every single tile laid out, and you've got 1, 2, 3 squadrons for the Germans, 1, 2, 3, 4 squadrons for the British. You've got some ships that can be bombed, you've got some balloons, some cloud cover. Looks like it pretty much takes everything the game has to offer and puts it into one massive scenario, which is the final scenario for your campaign. So very cool stuff. Let's take a look at some of these tiles. Now again, I took the first scenario and kind of lined a few up. Okay, so again, you just kind of assemble them as per the instructions. Backside, this happens to be S. It doesn't matter if it's not used in the scenario. Just turn it over and then it goes into the water. I really like this design. It feels like you're putting together a puzzle, although a very easy one. Now, I haven't laid everything out to get a sense of how big the full map would be. Let me do that. I'm curious, and we can add that right here. Okay, guys, so there's the full layout with cabs. I'll give you a sense of scale with the cat. Roughly 28 by 18. So like 17 and a half, something like that maybe. But that gives you a sense of scale. And I was wrong. It's all the tiles but 2. Anyway, beautiful map. It's actually pretty easy to move around once you kind of have it assembled. And it took me, the first time doing this, between 5 and 7 minutes. So not bad at all. There, hopefully you get a good look at it. So there we go, guys. So everything's in the box, except the cat. And as always, I appreciate you taking time to check out what I do here on the channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will talk to you in the next one. Goodbye for now.